Hare Rama श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
Many problems. बोल रहे यार
Hare Krishna. We will recite the prayers by the time the PPT is put up. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashtalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Vayam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashyati Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratrishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome to Kirtaniya Sada Hari Bol. So something that we floated, looking at the injured condition of our satsang, literally struggling to even hold a mridanga this side or that side. It went to one point where people are holding mridanga one side and using it like a tabla. They said it's enough is enough. Right? Now we have to start. So, Provision Matajis, this is not an initiative of just learning some. This is not an initiative of learning some musical instrument. Let me set a context before even we get. Of course, Prabhuji is going to give much more orientation on that. But whatever little I understand, this is Yajna, this is Sankirtan Yajna, right? And as you know, Yajna has to be in right consciousness, and yajna has to be properly performed. Otherwise, you will not get the phala of yajna. Right? Now, the need of doing this Sankirtan, this Mridanga, is to make sure that we become Krishna conscious. And this is very much part of our satsang. Don't think that this is an extended thing, some musical arm we are adding or anything like that. How many of you are actually serious of going back home back to Godhead? Lift your hand. Then you have to be serious in this sadhana also. Right? It is not like you can't go and stand in Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mela up there and beat one side Mridanga. Not going to work. If you want to join the party, then you better be prepared. Right? And another thing, I have made it very, very clear. Several people called me and said, we'll only come to Mridanga class, not to the satsang. I said clearly no, whether they're devotees or not devotees, doesn't matter. This is part of satsang, and whoever comes to this class will attend the satsang, and whoever is coming to satsang is expected to attend this and also learn, unless you are very new. That's up to your option. I think we have a good turnout. I still don't see devotees, how many have not come yet? Okay, fever and cold is okay. As long as you are breathing and alive, you should be here. Okay, and by time, we don't want this to be another satsang. We have a guest speaker here, we have a guest here, and a teacher here mainly. Let's respect him by being here on time. Whatever service you are doing before this, till whatever time you are doing, all that keep it aside. Here you should be at 2:45 and help in organizing the place, right? So we are not guests here, we are part of the team. So I request you to take full initiative and keep this as serious attempt, not as, I'm sure when we hold Mridangas, we'll all laugh at each other, how we are doing, what we are doing, but let that not demotivate our teacher. Right? Our seriousness is what we are going to learn here. If you are going to take it easy, make it very light-minded, outcome is also going to be like that. And I don't want Tarakshar Prabhu to even one day feel, why did they call me here? And we should not be a factor to that. Right? At least individually, each one of us should not be a factor to that. I'm trying to press that importance to it, and I'm telling very clearly this is not a ritual. Nothing in our satsang is a ritual. We are sacrificing our time. He is sacrificing his time. He is coming from a very far out distance from temple. Wherever we are going to organize satsang, Prabhuji is going to come here. We're going to make every minute count. Right? And once today is the first, are we ready now? Microsoft is still struggling?
We'll start with it. I have everything in mind. So I just needed a
So last announcement, as I said again, some of you have come late. Please don't do that again. This is the last time. We'll close the door. After that, nobody is allowed inside. You have to maintain that strictness.
Yeah.
Even if it's
I'm with you.
Done. Haribol. Okay. So 3 o'clock, we'll be here. We'll start it. Today we have a different session, 3 to 4. Already we are 3:20. I don't know. Go ahead, Prabhuji, as long as you can. We can extend that.
Tell me whatever time I'll manage in that period.
Yeah. So 4:30.
4:30 in mind.
Can wind up, and then after that you're going to take a little intro, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll go on with our satsang. Huh? Okay. So let us welcome Tarakshar Prabhu with 3 loud Haribol. Yeah, let's also welcome Radha Sangini Mata with 3 loud Haribols. Yeah. So as a family they are here. So let's start our yajna today, and how much our time it takes, how many our weeks it takes. Let's be enthusiastic and let us thank Mahesh Prabhu with 3 loud Haribols. Prabhuji has really put a lot of effort to coordinate, get Mridanga, allocate, distribute, and so I think we have some more to come in few days. So after that, we will have individual Mridangas. Once we start these sessions, make sure that the first batch gives up some Mridangas, the second batch, or you keep it back in the car. Right? Because we're going to do it in the same satsang place going forward. There will be some challenges in terms of space. This is a good hall, but not every time we'll have a hall like this. Right? So Hare Krishna. Without any more delay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So as we have already recited Mangala Charana, today I am going to speak about a 1-hour presentation on consciousness for learning Vedanga. Because in spiritual life, anything that we do,
has a consciousness backing it up. We don't do anything in spiritual life without any purpose, without any meaning, and without knowing whom are we pleasing by learning something. So as we know, you might have gone through basic philosophy in Krishna consciousness long back. But when we ask this question, let's say somebody is asking us a question that if God is there, show me God, then I'll believe God. But God is there. Show me. I have to see first to believe God. And so what do we answer him?
We have limited senses.
We have limited senses.
Cheating propensity.
Tendency
of making mistakes.
Okay. All that scientific term, but in crux, what do we say is, even though God comes in front of you, how do you know that whether he's God or not God?
Yeah.
Even if he shows himself to you, you should have some knowledge to understand whether he's God or not God. So there has to be knowledge first, then seeing comes later. Since our childhood, everything that we have learned is we have learned first through hearing, then we have experienced it by our senses. Even a simple, what is an apple? We learn in a school, apple is red, apple is circular, apple is sweet. This is how an apple looks like. And then we go out and we see a hawker selling an apple. Then we are able to figure it out, yes, this is an apple, identify it and eat it and have the experience. So hearing in life comes first. Similarly, learning Mridanga also requires to undergo some hearing first. Okay, so we'll begin first with the prayer to Shri Mridangam and Kartal. But for Kartal we don't have a prayer, but for Mridanga we certainly have. So please repeat after me. Mridanga Brahma Rupaya Lavanyam Rasamadhuri Sahasra Guna Samyuktaya Mridangaya Namo Namaha Shri Baladevaya Namo Namaha. So as this prayer says, Mridanga Brahma Rupaya. So the body or form of Mridanga is made of Mrid. Mrid means soft. Okay, it's Mridu means soft, but Mrid means clay or mitti. That's why we say Mrid Sharir. So because it's made of earth. So Mridanga's form is also made of earth. Mridanga. Brahma Rupaya, although its form is made of earth, but it's not material. It's Brahma Rupaya. It is spiritual. Lavanyam. And it is very beautiful to look at. So we have many kinds of Mridangas. I'll come to that when the PPT comes up. But our Mridanga in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya is very, very special. Because it has 64 strings. If you count the strings on the Mridanga straps, they are in 64 numbers. Any other Mridanga or instrument you take all around India. You go to North India, you get Dholak. You go to Maharashtra, you get Pakwas. In South India, that is called Mridangam. That's a little long one, which they play with 6. And in Bengal, it is called Mridanga. So all other kinds of Mridangas, they all have 32 strings, including tabla also. But Mridanga has 64. That's why it's more sweet. There's more tight. So Mridanga Brahma Rupaya Lavanyam. That means it looks beautiful. Rasa Madhuri. And when somebody plays Mridanga, it gives you experience of mellow. Rasa Madhuri. Sahasra Guna Samyuktaya. And it manifests hundreds of qualities while playing in the Kirtan. You will learn that as eventually we go forward with Mridanga learning, you will understand how many variations of beats Mridanga manifests to make the glorification of Lord more dynamic, more sweeter, gelling with the mellows of the songs. Sahasra Guna Samyuktaya Mridangaya Namo Namaha. I offer my obeisances to that form of Mridanga. So that's a prayer. As Prabhuji said, we encourage everybody not to miss any sessions going forward. Because every session is connected. Unless there is a tornado, tsunami, hurricane, please don't miss. And there is personal difficulty. So except those things, please don't miss. So what is the purpose that we are learning? Prabhuji already clarified, but still I want to hear from all of you. At least some of you. Why are you taking up to Mridanga learning in your life?
To please Krishna.
Okay, to please Krishna. Specifically, what we are trying to please Krishna in his form by playing Mridanga? Krishna's ears. His Grace Aindra Prabhu, disciple of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, used to say that when you come to temple hall, when you are playing in front of the Lord, don't do practice in front of the Lord. Do practice at your place. When you come in front of the Lord, give your best performance. Because we are playing it to please the ears of Krishna. So just like by cooking different kinds of bhoga, we please tongue of Krishna. By arranging festivals in beautiful manner, we please eyes of Krishna. Similarly, by learning good mridanga beats and instruments in Kirtan of the Lord, we please ears of Krishna. So that is our purpose. Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else who said something? Sorry?
Take the Sankirtan movement.
Very good. To take the Sankirtan movement. So Sankirtan involves instrument playing. This is Radheshyam Prabhu says, if you want to take Sankirtan movement forward, you need to learn 4 things. Cooking, driving, playing instruments and preaching. If you know these 4, you can go anywhere in the world and preach. If you have not done something, please make it a point that you reach that milestone. Cooking, driving, singing kirtan and playing instruments, and preaching. Siddhanta. Systematic Siddhanta of philosophy. So yes, that is a nice purpose. To take Sankirtan movement forward. Otherwise, we don't have instrument players, so then how will the people feel nectarian rasa of kirtan? So very important thing is, kirtan is not, as Prabhuji said, it's not a hobby that we are learning. It's also not a musical performance. So the consciousness towards kirtan should be very sacred. कभी-कभी हमारे सोसाइटी में ऐसा हो जाता है, अरे वो गाने बजाने वाले डिवोटीज को बुला दो. Bring those musical team forward. No, they are not just musical team, they are glorifying the Lord. They are actually the center of the program. Holy name is the center for which we are all doing all the other services. So Kirtan party has to be seen with sacred view, and you are going to be part of that Kirtan party. So feel that also as a great responsibility on you. So this is not a hobby, this is our legacy. As Srila Prabhupada says, book distribution is our family business. Even Sankirtan is also our family legacy. All our acharyas have done that. I want to show that in PPT, but I'll speak about it later. Yes, bro. So now some of us may feel that, oh, Prabhuji, the younger ones are learning Mridanga too early. I've crossed almost half of my age already. So is there any point in learning now? So those of you who are elders, please don't feel discouraged. Srila Prabhupada always says for anything in Krishna consciousness, better be late than never. We should take example as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says from karmis outside, how do they serve the community or the country at whatever age. Like for example, we have this Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia who started playing tabla and got into Sangeet. He got into Sangeet at the age of, anybody knows? 40. And made such a progress that now is Padma Bhushan. 40. Okay. Okay, so as I was saying this, Mridanga Brahma Rupaya, this prayer we recite, whose form is spiritual, whose form is made of earth, reservoir of all rasa, looks very beautiful, hundreds of qualities it manifests in Kirtan, and I offer my obeisance to such a Mridanga. This is a verse by Chanakya Pandit. He says, Shrimad Yasoda Sutta Pada Kamale Nasati Bhaktir Naranam Yesha Avir Kanya Priya Guna Kathane Na Anurakta Rasagya Yesham Achyuta Leela Kathayam Sadaro Naiva Karano Dhikatam 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 Iti Kathyati Kirtanasto Mridanga. That those who don't feel attracted to hearing the pastimes of Yashoda Sutta and don't participate in glorification of that Krishna, Mridanga, by making sound, is saying dhikkar to such people. You have wasted your life without doing glorification of the Lord in your life. So you have lived like as if dead man walking. So what should be our consciousness towards Mridanga? This is very important. The very first thing is, Mridanga is the backbone of Kirtan. Obviously for pure devotees, this is not the case. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, in his commentary on Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says, there are 2 kinds of Kirtans. Vastu Vaishishti Apekshani Kirtan and Vastu Vaishishti Anapekshani Kirtan. That means Kirtan which is accompanied by musical instruments and Kirtan which is not accompanied by musical instruments. The holy name just sung out there. So the Shuddha Bhaktas, they get attracted to even Vastu Vaishishti Anapekshani Kirtan. They just get attracted to holy name. They don't need accompaniment of instruments. But in the beginning, in our spiritual life, we certainly need instruments to absorb ourselves. So it is a backbone of Kirtan. Now, this backbone of Kirtan also has another connotation. Backbone should always remain backbone. It should never become the front. That means in Kirtan, Mridanga player should assist the singer. It should never control the singer. The power of the sound of Mridanga should not overpower the sound of holy name. So it should always be backbone of the Kirtan. Every Mridanga beat, as Prabhuji said, we are doing this as a Sankirtan Yajna. When you study Bhagavad Gita, it is called Swadhyaya Yajna. When we study, learn Kirtan, that is called Sankirtan Yajna. So every Mridanga beat that we play is an Ahuti in Sankirtan Yajna. And there are two ways to easily please devotees in Krishna consciousness. One is to feed them Mahaprasad. That is certainly there. And make them dance in Kirtan. Who doesn't like to dance? So this is not a hobby. As I said, this is our legacy. We are doing it to please Guru, Srila Prabhupada and all other Vaishnavas. That is our only aim. So that we become useful in their service. Now Mridanga is an expansion of three things. In different places in scriptures, different references are mentioned. First of all, it's expansion of Balramji. As we know, Balramji serves Krishna in all five rasas. What are the five rasas in which we can have relationship with Krishna? Shantarasa, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Now can anybody tell me how Balramji serves in all five rasas? With an example, how Balramji serves in all these five rasas Krishna.
Dham is Balram.
Okay, Dham is Balram.
Shantaras.
That is Shantaras. Okay.
Yeah, and
Dasya.
Dasya, he serves in assisting in all pastimes.
Okay, assisting in all pastimes. Okay, as Ananta Shesha is giving a resting service to Krishna. Okay. Paraphernalia, that all is in Shantaras. Shantaras. And then Sakhyaras.
He plays with his like a friend.
Playing tug of war or different plays, with Krishna, having two teams, Krishna team and Balaram team. And then fourth, Vatsalya.
He takes care of him like a parent.
Which of the pastime shows that he takes care like an elder brother? Eating dirt. So he complains to Mother Yashoda that he has eaten dirt. So he wants to be protective. Okay. And fifth, Madhurya Ras, how does he serve? Madhurya Ras, how? That is Shantaras. I'll tell you how it is Shanta. It comes in next when we come to Sandhini Shakti. Balramji becomes or he expands into a Manjiri which is directly under Srimati Radharani as her younger sister. Her name is Ananda Manjiri. So that's how Balramji serves in Madhurya Ras. So all five rasas Balramji serves. So the expansion of Mridanga is in Shanta Ras of Balramji. It is also expansion of Sandhini Shakti. There are three Shaktis which govern the spiritual world. They are perverted into three modes of material nature in material world. But what are these three Shaktis in spiritual world? One is Sandhini. Other two are Ladini and Sambit. Can somebody tell me the meaning of all three? Raising hand. What are these three Shaktis? Definite meaning of all these three. Sambit, what is Sambit, what is Sandhini, what is Ladini?
The loving potency is Ladini Shakti.
Loving potency is Ladini Shakti, okay?
Expansion of his
Pleasure potency, Alhada, pleasure, okay?
Yeah. And then Sambit is eternality.
Sambit is eternality. That is Sat.
Ladini is...
See, Vid means to know. Yastam Veda sa Vedavit. Vedavit means one who knows. Samvit means completely. Samyak Rupena Vid. It is Samvit. So that Shakti which gives you knowledge about everything related to Krishna. It's called Samvit Shakti, knowledge potency. Sandhini Shakti is, what is the meaning of Sandhi?
The source.
Okay, that is Sanskrit Vyakaran Sandhi, joint or breaking. Hare Krishna. Sandhi is another meaning is opportunity. I am giving you a Sandhi. I am giving you an opportunity. So Sandhini Shakti means it gives you different opportunities to serve Krishna. So when Sandhini Shakti manifests as paraphernalia, it gives you opportunity of worship. Sandhini manifests as kirtan instruments, you can glorify Krishna. Sandhini Shakti manifests as Dham, so you can have different pleasurable pastimes with Krishna in different settings. So Sandhini is one who awards you opportunities. And Lahadini Shakti is one who gives pleasure, as Prabhuji said. So Sandhini Shakti expands as Mridanga for giving us opportunity to serve Krishna by glorifying Krishna. And it is also incarnation of flute of Krishna. So in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna comes with his flute. In Kali Yuga, that same flute accompanies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in form of Mridanga. Also, can you give me the Mridanga? Just hang me over for a minute.
This one is not having very good.
Huh? No, it's okay. I don't want to make sound. I just want to show something.
Belting.
Better is 520. Hare Krishna. So it is said that this form of Mridanga, this body, is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this big end, this is bigger end, which makes sound dhum dhum. This is Gadadhar. Okay? Gadadhar. And this is Nitai. Nitai. So this is Gadadhar and Nitai. And this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So can I have some asana or something? Yeah, give me that. So this is our next point. Because Mridanga is a Vigraha. It is a deity. It is not just an instrument. So we should always place it on an asana. It should never be kept on a bare floor. And it should have a covering. When we are playing, it should not have a covering. When the covering is on, it means that the Vigraha is resting. When the covering is off, we can play it. And then keep it on an asana. So it should be kept like this, in this manner. This is a resting form of Vigraha. So as I said, there are different kinds of Mridangas. Dholak in North India, Pakwas in Maharashtra, Mridangam in South India, and Mridanga in Bengal. So you can vividly see them. How do they look? So you can see our Mridanga, Gaudiya Vaishnava Mridanga, it has 64 strings, the more number of strings. They are called as Gajara. I'll come to the notations later in the diagram, what technically each part is called as. And there are 4 Sampradayas of Mridanga. So till now we have been hearing that philosophically we have 4 Sampradayas. What are they? Brahma, Rudra, Shri, Kumar. So what is the meaning of Sampradaya? Disciplic succession. It's called Parampara. What is the meaning of Sampradaya? Okay. Set of rules and principles followed. Okay. So Samyak Rupena Pradayate iti Sampradaya. That institute which gives you everything, equips you with all understanding and skill regarding a particular field of knowledge is called as Sampradaya. So IIT is a Sampradaya for engineering. To give an example. So Mridanga also has 4 Sampradayas. Garan Hati, Manohar Shahi, Reniti and Mandarini. So Garan Hati is a Sampradaya of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So that is the same Sampradaya we all come in. So what Mridanga beat we are going to learn is going to be in Sampradaya of Narottam Das Thakur. Srinivas Acharya has Manohar Shahi, Reniti is led by Shyamanand Prabhu and Bhavananda Prabhu, and Mandarini is presently lupta or obsolete, is not being practiced today. So we don't have even the origin of it, but it is just mentioned in the knowledge coming from Mridanga. So there are different parts of Mridanga, as I said. So this particular belt is called Kamarapatta. This is Anga. This particular place where you tie the Kamarapatta on both the sides, it's called Vijaka. Vijaka. And then this bigger part is called as Bayan. And this is Dayan. And in between, for clay Mridangas you have straps. For fiber ones you don't have, but for clay you will get those straps in between. Some gaps are there.
Yeah.
They are called as Rekha. That's it. I mean, these are important things to know. Now, how to hold the Mridanga while sitting and while standing? so that you can have a comfortable posture. So when we sit, ideal is we take one leg out and sit like this, and we keep mridanga like this. If you want the mridanga to be stationary, eventually by practice you will get, but if not, you can put the kamar patta behind to your kamar. That's why it's called kamar patta, to your waist. And this is how it becomes stationary. And you are also comfortable, you are not very tight on the position, so you can play for a long like this. Both hands are very open, they are also not tight. This is a sitting position. Some people also keep an asana in front and keep mridanga like this and play. But we don't have those circular asanas generally. This is a sitting position. And for standing, this is the way you have to hold it. The big end should be on your left side. Whichever is your strong hand, let's say you are righty, you write with right hand. Then best is you can keep that hand on the small hand. So like this you should hold, where left hand is open, right hand is free to move. And mridanga is also in a posture where, because here you will have to do a lot of fingering and wrist movement. It should be little up so that you can see it, where you can easily play. But here you have to just beat it. So it can be on the lower end. Like this. Okay. So these are inside of both the sides. So here this ink is of clay. This ink, the more it is nicely or condensedly there on your mridanga, it will sound better. More this ink comes out, your mridanga will sound like a board, cardboard. You're beating like a board. It will not make this sound. So you have to make sure that this ink doesn't fall off too quickly or it does not get many cracks. Okay. So how to make that ink again, I will take the session later again. How to ourselves make that if the ink is broken or it has many cracks. And when it will come out, this ink or syahi, is when you play it when the mridanga is too tight. The mridanga is too tight and you beat it hard, the vibrations will make this ink come out. So if you are playing in summer, the mridanga will always be tight in summer. So you have to do little watering on this maidan. So this central part is called maidan, this is syahi and this is kinara. So on this central part you have to put some water drops and you have to spread it through your finger and the water should go little inside. So the water will make the gap come out and the sound will come out through that gap, more sweeter. And it will not put pressure on this clay. If the mridanga is too tight, I mean this skin is too attached, the kinara is too attached to maidan, then this ink will fall. So in summers you have to take care that you put water and then you play. And in winter it will get too damp, it will become too loose, it will not make any sound only. So at that time, best practice is to scrub the warm cloth. You heat the cloth and then you scrub it for some time like this rotating manner. Some people take it on the gas stove and they put it like this on the flame. It helps if you are really good at precision of how much distance you keep it between the flame. Otherwise the flame can immediately break this. This whole skin will go inside, it will become hollow. In a minute you will lose your mridanga. Then you will have to be waiting till it gets repaired. So you have to be careful on that. Or some people do it on candle because the flame is a little, it's not too high as on the stove. But best is to have warm cloth. That is in the winter. Similarly here also on the smaller end, this is syahi, this is kinara and this is, this is kinara, this is syahi and this is maidan. And this is Gachibowli. So all our acharyas have emphasized the importance of glorification of the Lord's musical accompaniment. They have all incorporated Kirtans into their preaching. Dwadashalvars, they made songs, Pasuram, and they're very famous. They're included, some of them are in Divya Prabandhas also. And then Madhvacharya also incorporated Carnatic music. In fact, when Madhvacharya used to sing, the whole nature around in the ambience would bloom. The creepers would come out, they would give very fragrant flowers. That was the power of his singing. Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know already in his song, Karatalavalam Kalakantaravam Mriduvadya Suvenikaya Madhuram Nija Bhakti Gunavrita Natyakaram Pranamami Sachi Suta Gauravalam. So Karatalavalam Kalakantaravam. So he would have musical accompaniment. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, what he would say? Very famous song. Mridangavadya shunite mana avasara sadayache. Mridangavadya shunite mana avasara sadayache. Gauravihita kirtana shuni anandere dayanache. Gauravihita Anandere Dayanache Shodha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanano Puri Bhakata Seva Parama Sevi Premalati Karamola. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Mridanga Vadya Shunite Humana Avasara Sadayache. I actually want more and more opportunities to hear the sound of Mridanga. So this is not, as Prabhuji said, it's not just some musical titillation, but Mridanga brings forth those devotional emotions from the heart of pure devotees. And then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he installed Kirtan parties to go around for Harinam and also with Brihad Mridanga book distribution. Even Srila Prabhupada in his personal life, in the beginning when he was a Grahastha, after he got the instruction to preach by his spiritual master, in the beginning he would go every day to a Gaudiya Math in the evening and play Mridanga in Gaur Arati. His father wanted him to learn Mridanga. Srila Prabhupada used to explain his disciples. You must have seen that video where all his Western disciples are sitting around and Srila Prabhupada is for the first time introducing Mridanga to them. He has got Mridanga from India and Srila Prabhupada is playing on it and he's saying, my father wanted me to be like this. And then he's playing Mridanga. In the beginning, when there were no instrument players in our movement, Srila Prabhupada has recorded his Kirtan playing all the instrument himself. First he sang and recorded, then playing that cassette he played Mridanga, then recorded, then played that and played Kartal and recorded, and then played harmonium and recorded. All four instruments are by Prabhupada only, because there was nobody to play. So Srila Prabhupada wanted our the devotees in movement to learn these instruments. Otherwise, then acharyas have to do everything themselves. That was applied. Now, this is a very important section. Kirtan etiquettes. Vaishnava means his ornament is etiquette, whatever he does. Even in Kirtan, Kirtan is not a place to freak out. Kirtan is not a place to have colors and having boys and girls together meeting and have their own flavors of life. Kirtan is a process of glorification, it also is a service. So there are etiquettes for that service also. The very first is, we should be happy to be followers. But when asked to lead, we should not hesitate. So we should like to be followers. Very good. And then there are devotees who want to grab the mic. That kind of culture is very much discouraged. Since the beginning of our Krishna conscious times, I remember Radhesham Prabhu, he would say, if your class is scheduled or if your Kirtan is scheduled, come and do the service. Don't try to push your way through your managers. अरे प्रभु जी मेरा नाम नहीं डाला इस बार कीर्तन में. अरे कितने दिन हो गए मैंने क्लास ही नहीं दिया. Organize my classes, organize my kirtans. Devotee never wants to come in front. He likes to be ideally a follower, but when he is asked to do that service, he does not hesitate. Oh, what will people think if I sing? Oh, what will people think if I do this? We need not to care for what people say. We need to care that whether I am able to perform the service or no. Whether I am able to please the devotee who gave me service or no. So I remember when I started initially playing mridanga, personally, I never used to sing along with playing. So I used to just play, and my mouth would move in a certain way, hands would move in a certain way. It is very difficult in the beginning to sing and play. So there was one devotee staying along with me. This is in my student days. In college days, we had a voice kind of setup where Radhashambhu had established. All student devotees would say 40 of us. So one devotee in my contemporary batch, he would say that, "Arey, you are not singing holy name. You will not come back to Godhead by just playing mridanga like this." So I got very discouraged. So I went to Radhashambhu and asked him, "Prabhuji, what do you think? Is it really true? So is my playing of mridanga service waste?" And Radhashambhu said, "No." He said, "Who gave you the service of playing mridanga?" I said, "Prabhuji, you. Then you have to come and ask me whether I am happy with your service. And if I am happy, you should be confident enough that you progress. And you progress more, Krishna will himself give you ability to sing and play. But that will come eventually. In the beginning, आज vertical चक्रवर्ती ऐसा तो नहीं होने वाला. So he said, Radhashambhu said, wait, but everything will come in time. And I could see that I would eventually do everything. So we should be happy to be followers, and we should not try to grab mic and create a scene in front of newcomers. Devotees are fighting for kirtans. Obviously, that is never going to be the case, but I'm just stating it here because I've traveled across all India temples in my brahmachari life for 8 years, and I've seen everywhere this kind of thing happening. Devotees fighting for schedules for kirtan, even for Bhagavatam classes also. Sometimes devotees are coming and in between snatching mic and starting kirtan. I've seen very bad instances. So this is not a proper training. This is not how we want our community to do. And we should not hesitate when asked, even if you are not able to do. I have seen some devotees so sincere. Another instance I'll state here. When I went once, I came from a preaching program in Pune. In Brahmachari Ashram evening, I had gone for a congregation program. When I came back, there was a kirtan going on in the temple hall. And there was one devotee who was sitting and singing. And he was singing in a very bad tune. I mean, the instrument players are going in one direction, Prabhuji is going in another direction, Prabhuji is not able to even have rhythm in their tune also. And people were also having difficulty to follow, and all were standing and looking at that Prabhuji. So I felt that maybe I should intervene and try to do this. So I went to Prabhuji and I said, "Prabhuji, if you don't mind, I can take up the service." And Prabhuji said, "Oh, very nice, I'm more happy. Please come and sing." Then I sang, I played harmonium, devotees accompanied in mridanga and kirtal and everything, and we had a nice kirtan. People chanted, danced also. After the kirtan, while going there, Prabhuji caught me again and said, "Prabhuji, I was so happy that you came." Now I was in the beginning judging him in my mind, saying that why do devotees want to sing when they have not learned? This was my consciousness in the beginning. Then when he expressed some things, I became humbled at my heart. So this devotee said to me that, "Prabhuji, before you came, there was nobody in the temple hall to sing. And generally when nobody is there, we put Prabhupada dhun in the temple. Devotees, at least the people who are visiting, they should get to hear some holy name. But there was no Prabhupada dhun, neither there was anybody to sing. And I know that I am a very poor fellow in singing. But I wanted them to hear holy name. So I sat there, and while all throughout my singing, I was praying to Krishna, let some devotee come who knows properly and do this service and please all these people." And he said, "Prabhuji, you are the answer of my prayer." And I was thinking that I am coming and overtaking the service and trying to give best performance, But sometimes we don't know devotees' intentions. So that kind of humility is best for a Kirtaniya. So in my heart I understood that externally I may be doing good Kirtan, but he is a good Kirtaniya. Because he has a proper value system. He wanted to please Guru Krishna and he wanted to connect people to Krishna. So that is a mood that everybody should have. Second etiquette is following tunes according to mood and time. So different kirtans we have at different time. Mangalarati, there is a Mangalarati tune. Evening time, there is evening tune. On appearance and disappearance, there is another tune. So we should learn those tunes and sing according to mood and time. Third is trying to please the ears of Krishna and not doing practice session in front of the deities. So as we discussed earlier, Prabhuji's point. Sing till the Lord is worshipped. This is another etiquette. Let's say you are put in singing for an arati in the temple, and arati is going on. Till the time arati finishes, you have to keep on singing. Sometimes it happens that we run out of tune or we run out of confidence to drag it till the end. So we give up in between. Is there anybody to sing? That is not a very good practice. We should never break into kirtans for the Lord. Till the time arati is continuing, even though you continue the same tune, doesn't matter. Continue till the time Lord is worshipped. Fifth is enthusiastically sing and enthuse others also. So Krishna consciousness should be contagious, like Corona. So the more enthusiastic you are in presentation, the more enthusiastic audience will be. And having Krishna consciousness so that you can deliver Krishna. This is very important point, that our Kirtan service is not just, it should not be just a hook for us to hang in Krishna consciousness. Prabhuji, if I do Kirtan, then only I feel happy. But I don't like to read Srila Prabhupada's books. I don't like to attend satsang, that's Prabhuji said. I just want to have fun in Kirtan. That won't work. Srila Prabhupada said our ISKCON is like a gun. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like a bullet. And individual sadhana is gunpowder in the bullet. If all three are there, then you shoot, and person's material life is over. So, if there is no gunpowder, shooting of the bullet will be just like throwing a bullet to somebody. It won't affect them in any way. So, Krishna has to be there in consciousness to be delivered through Kirtan. Kirtan is a medium to deliver Krishna. And last is, we should not be envious and should want to join others' Kirtan. So sometimes it happens that only our favorite Kirtaniyas, we attend their Kirtan, and if anybody else is singing, we leave out. But let's say if our community is organizing an event where all congregation is taking turn by turn and doing Kirtans, we should participate in all devotees' Kirtans. Try to make it a point that I am also giving them importance or respect for doing Kirtan. Or some people just come when their slot is there and they go over. They think, what I have to do other time? You have to encourage. That is the most important thing. So that was for Kirtan, for singers. Those who are singing Kirtan. And for instrument players, these are the etiquettes. So as I said first, Mridanga player follows singer and Kartal player follows Mridanga player. This is a chain of following. The way singer sings, Mridanga has to follow, and then Kartal player has to assist. And never override and control the singer. They have to accompany the singer like a wife. It happens sometimes that when you have a parikrama kirtan, or we are moving and doing kirtans, so instrument players are somewhere, singer is somewhere, and they have difficult time managing with each other. So no, instrument player should always accompany singer like a wife. And they have to be present in the visible range of a singer to get his indications. See, we are playing for him. I have seen, in my personal experience, I have played for almost all the Maharajas in this one. I have never lost opportunity. I have served in all GBC meetings, GBC retreats, personally played for Baby Gun Maharaj, Indrajit Maharaj, Lilananda Maharaj, so many, Loknath Maharaj. You take a name and I have played for them. So one thing I have understood it, they are very sensitive about instrument players. Sometimes you will not know also that they want fast or slow. Sometimes some will indicate only with eyes. That's it. His name is Radhana Swami Maharaj. I was playing for him in one GBC retreat in Mahabaleshwar in Pune. So Guru Maharaj was singing on harmonium Damodar Ashtakam, and he just said like this, Hey Krishna. That's it. I had to bring it to fast beat. So if you close eyes and play instrument, you're gone. You have to be always in their visible range, and you have to look for very small indication. Bibigan Maharaj will not even look. He will sing and he will just do like this, or do like this. With fingers he will give indications. So that is for very senior players, but I am saying we have to be present in the visible range. Never close the eyes while playing. We should never give up, but have attitude of pleasing. Sometimes it happens that we are not able to match up. So it becomes hurting to our ego, saying that anyway I give it a better. It becomes too tough to handle that situation. But we should never give up. I'll tell you two examples. His Grace Madhav Prabhu, he's not initiated, but still we call him His Grace because senior devotees call him like that. So Madhav Prabhu, when he played for His Grace Saindra Prabhu in Vrindavan, and he started 24 hours Kirtan, His Grace Saindra Prabhu picked it up by one instruction of Srila Prabhupada, when earlier His Grace Saindra Prabhu was not a Kirtaniya, he was a book distributor. But when Srila Prabhupada visited Vrindavan, he was given a service to lead the Kirtan. And as I said, the very first etiquette, we should not hesitate if we are asked. He did not have a good voice then. So he led the Kirtan. And Srila Prabhupada still appreciated it. And Srila Prabhupada danced and then looked at him and said, Joy, please continue. Like that he said. That one instruction he took into his heart, please continue means don't stop. Have 24-hour Kirtan. So he took that word of Srila Prabhupada to the heart and soul. He started 24 hours Kirtan. Management of the ISKCON Vrindavan temple thought, what is this? How will you continue 24 hours without eating, sleeping, and you have deities to take care of, shaligrams to take care of. Somehow he managed, and his own chanting. And he used to chant 64 rounds, to be precise. Along with all that, he would manage Kirtan. And in the beginning, management thought, what is this Kirtan whole day? And they told no devotees will go to him. We have many other services to do. So Prabhuji would sing alone on harmonium, and any visitors who would come to temple, he would ask them, pick up any instruments and play. And they don't know anything. So Madhav Prabhu was dropped to Vrindavan by his parents. He came from Mauritius. He came to see, he had heard about Andhra Prabhu, he wanted to see him, and he had got that innate attraction for Kirtan. So when he came, he started playing for Andhra Prabhu, and he was doing some mistakes. So Andhra Prabhu stopped him, he said, don't play. Put the mridanga down, you are creating too much disturbance. So he put that, but he went straight immediately to Balramji in Krishna Balram altar and prayed to Balramji, I want to please this devotee. He's trying to please you sincerely. Please give me some intelligence, I want to serve him. You do anything with my life. Take any tests, but make me, empower me so that I can serve this devotee. And whole night that day he kept on playing on Mridanga alone in one of the kutirs. And by morning he was able to play beats that he did not know, neither he learned from anybody, but they're exactly according to our Mridanga Sampradaya beats. And he went and joined Andhra Prabhu, and Andhra Prabhu was shocked. He said, how did you get it? He said, Balramji's mercy. I sincerely prayed, I cried actually to Balramji, I want to please him. So he never gave up. So there should be the attitude, we should never give up, we should learn. And try to please devotees by learning good beats. And for audience, as I said, we should never consider Kirtan party as a tadi of the Lord. We should never see it just some musical party. And audience should also follow the tune of the singers. This is true for Kirtan and this is true for any event in ISKCON. So if a Bhagavatam speaker is singing verses or reciting verses, it has to be recited in the same tune and to give the honor to that person. So following the tunes. I remember this is Rajeshan Guru when he used to come to temple and sing Mangal Arati. Sometimes he would stop in between, right? Then he would again sing. I said, understood the tune? Huh? You understood the tune? Follow this tune. He would stop in Mangal Arati. Unless we sang the property, we would not continue. This he has done multiple times with us. So he would say, no, you're singing different. No, this is not the thing. 3-4 times later. Okay. So now we are through the etiquettes. Any question up till now? Anything? Yes, Guruji? Tadiya. Tadiya means paraphernalia of the Lord. Or anything that is used in service of the Lord is called sacred. Tadiya. Okay, important instructions for learning Mridanga. Now we come to the practicals. Very first, assist an expert Mridanga player and then play for senior devotees. So those Mridanga players who have already got ripened into their habits of playing, accompanying singers for years, try first to accompany them and try to get their chemistry. How do they match? What kind of beats do they play? So first try to assist a Mridanga player or a Kartal player. Same holds for Kartal. Second is every day at least 15 minutes. Hear good Kirtans. This hearing of Kirtans is also sadhana. By hearing good Kirtans where instruments are played out very expertly, your ears will get tuned to it, your mind will get tuned to it. Unless your mind develops interest, you will not practice. Take from me. Even if I tell you here, practice every day 15 minutes, 1 hour, you say, yes, Prabhuji. After going home, no schedule. Because there is no interest. The intuitive mind is not developed. That has to develop by hearing good Kirtans. Wherever you are, washing clothes, doing anything, cooking, whatever you are doing, hear good Kirtans. Develop your mind. And do Kirtan programs with devotees. This is also contagious. So regularly we should have events where Kirtans are there and participate in Kirtans with your instruments. And individual practice minimum half an hour, at least till you learn Mridanga. This is a standard. you see according to your capacity. But if you do this, I'll guarantee you will learn very nicely. Let us begin the service. So first, so should we do this with the whole batch right now, or are we going to divide?
Actually, we don't have those many mridangas today.
Kartans, does everybody have it?
No, not everybody has.
Not everybody has.
We have so many in a one batch.
So now are we going to divide it into batches?
Yeah.
Okay. So all the best for your Mridanga learning, and let us be part in more enthusiastic way and be sticking to your timings. And personally, as Mahesh Guru is saying, he is trying to arrange Mridangas for everybody. Have a proper instrument with you so that it becomes easy for you to practice and learn during the classes. Any further announcements if they want? Srila Prabhupada ki, Harinam Sankirtan movement ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.
Haribol, any questions? Any clarifications? Questions? Yeah.
Slides, I will forward you the Mridanga beats. But do you want the content to be forwarded? Okay, I will forward it. In the group only I will forward.